I've proven I can start it over again. Okay, it's you. You got it. You got it.
Thank you.
Thank
See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Good luck.
Yeah, I need it. Hi, everybody. Grab my stuff. Believe it or not, I was prepared. Then we had a little technical difficulty. You know how that goes. It happens. I'm glowing a little bit. It's warm here today. So, what is new in the HO train world? I'm going to start off a little differently this week. New products. We have some great building kits from Walthers. I told you about the signal towers and the ice house platforms that were coming. Well, let me start you out with the very cutest one ever. So let me come up here. Look at that. Is that not adorable? It's already put together. It's a Walthers train line. Here, let me take it out of the box. Get rid of that cellophane. Is this not just fabulous? Little signal tower. You need one on your layout. Small footprint. It's like 2x3. Look at that. Just fabulous. So those are already built. Put that back in the box. Otherwise, I'll get yelled at for not putting inventory away correctly. I don't want to get yelled at. It happens. Okay, we'll put that one away. And then, Walthers, for those of us that like to build it ourselves, Walthers has a trackside signal tower kit, which is pretty spectacular. Again, great detail on it. Just terrific. And again, a small footprint. Your footprint on this is 3 5/16 tall, so close to 3/8. 2 1/4 inches by 2 27/32, so roughly 2 7/8. So that's the signal tower kit. If you want, they're on the website 4hotrains.com. So that's pretty cool. Let me say hi to everybody before I go on. Let's see, who do we have over here? We have Katie. We have Massimo's Trains. Hi, Massimo. Hello, Jim Frisk from Rail City, St. Albans, Vermont. Yes, we did get new music. How do you like that? The guy that wanted royalties for the previous music, Steve got tired of him taking his, pennies every week when we played that music. So he found a new one. I kind of like it. It's a little zippier. Hello, K&R Custom Models. How are you? Hi, Cy3. Richard Fosler. Hello, how are you? How's Louisville these days? And Massimo. Oh, that was a message between Massimo and K&R. I'm glad you guys can talk through this forum. I think that's terrific. I like that kind of sharing. Okay, so the Walthers Signal Tower Kit, and then they have the Pennsylvania Railroad brick interlocking tower with flat roof, which you just don't see very many of these, and I just think it's such a great kit without that pitched roof. It just looks so realistic. It's a little bit bigger footprint on this one. You've got 5 5/8 tall, so it's almost twice as tall. 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. So again, roughly 1.5 times the size of the other one. But that's the interlocking tower with the flat roof. I just think that's terrific. And then, by popular demand, I've had several people ask for these. So I did some investigating to see who made a kit for this. And we have one on our layout, which is just terrific. It took a while to build, I got to tell you. But this is the ice house and icing platform. As you all know, if you've got a collection of reefers, you would have put your reefers through this, and they would have dumped ice in it to keep the product cold as it moved around the tracks all over the country. So that's the ice house and icing platform. I just think these are terrific. When you put them on the layout, they just look so cool. And people ask about them a lot because you've never seen one in real life unless you're extremely old, which of course I am, but I haven't seen one live yet. So that is the ice house and icing platform from Walthers, in stock now. So if you've got a great collection of reefers, you might want to think about adding one to your layout. The footprint on this is a little bit bigger. It's 16.5 for the icing platform. And then the ice house is 4 3/4 by 10 3/4. So you do need a pretty good siding space for that. but it would really add a lot to anybody's layout. So that's what I know. So that's what's new from Walthers in building kits this week. We have, let's see, some great just announced products. See where I go with this. iPad, there we go. So this is, excuse me, gosh. We have the, that's not, we want the cylindrical hoppers. So these are the cylindrical hoppers from Bachmann. They are Saskatchewan, which this is Canadian National, obviously. And then we move on to Canada. Saskatchewan. Don't you love saying Saskatchewan? We were joking in the store today that we would call that Bigfoot Railroad. I just think that would be funny. And then we have Burlington Northern. So those are pretty terrific. Something I don't think I have a picture of. Let me go back to the boxcar. I don't have a picture of is we now have a end of train device from Bachmann. It fits, it's interchangeable with any couplers that you have. It works with DCC and, sorry, what's the other one? Anyways, it works with both systems. And it's an end of train device that we've had a lot of questions about. So that might be interesting to you. And then I apologize. These are actually the braced boxcars that are coming up. We have Burlington Northern in that braced boxcar. And we have Conrail in that braced boxcar. So those are really cool. Again, in stock and, or sorry, not in stock yet. They've just been announced. We should have them in the next 2 weeks or so. So that's pretty cool. And then on coming soon, you're really going to like these. Oh, you guys are, thank you, Richard Fosler. Thumbs up are welcome always. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Then we have some really cool stuff coming from Lionel. We've got some boxcars. You can see this is Wings of Angels. So those of you out there that have a World War II theme. And then we move on to those of you like the fantasy schemes. This is the Harry Potter movie boxcar. Pretty cool, actually. I mean, it looks really good. And then we move on to John Deere. John Deere is a big seller around here. Obviously, we have a lot of ag nearby. And this is the John Deere boxcar. Really good looking. I love the bright colors of the John Deere green and yellow. And then for you muscle car people, of which I have to admit I am one, we have the Ford Mustang boxcar. And not to be left behind, we have the Chevy Camaro boxcar. So those are pretty cool. And again, those are coming soon, not in stock yet. So do I have anything else? Oh, yeah. Something Steve talked about a couple weeks ago, but I thought I would kind of highlight one at a time. For anyone, oh, hi. Davin McKenzie. Thank you for the thumbs up, Davin. Steve talked about these earlier. For anybody that's looking to get into or expand your HO layout, Atlas has these amazing layout packages. Everything in the box that you need. So this is one with an outer siding and an inner siding. And you, oops, hello. How'd I do that? Sorry. There we go. Everything you need is included. You've got the plastic rail joiners, you've got the straight track, the radius track, the spade connectors, the layout wiring, which is really great to have in a track set. Your straight track, more radius track, track assortment, the remote switch for both right and left, your terminal tracker, and the bumpers to end your sidings on. You can also, it includes the re-railers and another terminal section. So this is from Atlas's collection of beginners, HO for beginners. It is plan number 1 from book number 9. It requires a minimum table size of 4 by 6. So you can see how much you can get on a 4 by 6 table. And it does have a link. If you pull this up on our website, it has a link to your DCC wiring instructions. And all of that for your track layout would only be $189. So I'm going to try to feature one of these every week so you get an idea of what they are. It's a little overwhelming to look at the whole catalog at once, but I thought that this was really interesting to have that layout package for your freight cars where you've got the two sidings, one inside and one outside. You could really do a lot with that as far as scenery is concerned. So something to think about. And that is the end of everything I have on there. So coming back over here, what are we doing? Oh, this is fun. We have some in-stock inventory that, oops, wrong one. Sorry. Oh, sorry. There we go. Nope, not yet. Okay, where's my video? Huh, sorry, I've lost it. Steve? Have to yell for technical support. I don't know. So we talked about this. Sorry about this, everybody. Oh, hi, Guy Boudreau. How are you? Thank you. I appreciate you enjoying the show. I know a lot of people are probably at York this week. I'm actually kind of glad not to be at York this week. Isn't that terrible? But I really am. So Steve is apparently not on here right now to help me find my video. That's not it. iPhone in frame is not it. iPad is not it. Huh. We may not have loaded it. My video of the new product, the Instock Products. Oh, it's on the iPad. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did. Sorry, it was on the iPad. I didn't know where to go. Just bringing it up for me. There we go. That's it. So this is. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, there we go. So these are some in-stock products that I wanted to highlight. I know you don't normally see all these caboose, 6 of them or 5 of them, in a consist, but this is being pulled by the Southern Pacific engine from the Ready to Run set from Lionel. This is on the HO layout we're building in the store. Hi, Dale Smotherman. Is Steve running? So these are in stock offset caboose, Ann Arbor, Burlington Northern, Burlington Route, Grand Trunk, and Norfolk and Western. They're the offset couple of cabooses. And they're just really terrific. I like the offset caboose. It just gives you a little interest on your layout. So again, we have those in Ann Arbor, Burlington Northern, Burlington Route, Grand Trunk, and the ever popular Norfolk and Western in the blue and gold. So those are in stock and available. Product numbers are here if you're interested in finding one online. These are all from Bachman. The offset caboose. We have a few others in stock, but I just wanted to give you kind of a little highlight. So if you're interested, again, go to 4hotrains.com and you can pick those up. Coming up next are some passenger cars. These are Atlas 1012 Pullman passenger cars. And we have Lake George, Lake Sanford, and I missed the other one. I didn't get a really good picture of those. So we have Lake George, Lake Sanford. Again, here are your product numbers. Lake Grandin, that's why I didn't remember it. So those are, again, all in stock and ready for you if you're looking for any kind of passenger cars or cabooses. And I'll try to give you some in-stock opportunities every week. I like running them as a video. I don't know if you do or not. Oh, thank you. You're so cute, Dick Fosler. Yeah, we're just trying to make it more interesting than my trying to, oh, here's the car. Let me balance this. So I hope you like that. Let's see, we'll go back here, see what's going on next. Again, pre-order deadlines for anything that we've announced so far. Your pre-order deadline for Walther's March 2025 announcements is due on the 30th of April, so you've got another week. The Rapido Trains March 2025 announcements are not due until May 15th, so you've got a little time. And the Walther's 2025 announcement pre-order is due 5/31 of 25. So if you're thinking about any of those items that we've shown as pre-orders, take a look. Let's see. We have a club corner tonight, which is just beautiful. This is, here we go. This is the Grand Strand Model Railroaders. They are in South Carolina. Who doesn't love South Carolina?
That music off there. Did you do it? Yeah.
Yeah, how come it's not playing?
You don't want it to play?
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
You can play it over there.
Oh, I can play it over here.
There you go. Hit right there. A little bit. There you go.
Okay. Grand Strand Model Railroaders. They're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They're actually in a mall, which, if you are not aware, it's not uncommon for a mall operator to invite a train club and give them some space at a discount or even for free to create a destination within the mall to help drive traffic. The Atlas Dixie Flyer set, when might it ship? I do not know. We have had a lot of trouble, as you know, with the tariff situation. So we're kind of waiting every day to hear what's coming and what's not, according to the manufacturers. So if I find that out, I'll tell you next week, Dale. But anyways, Grand Strand Model Railroaders down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Obviously, like the rest of us, they're looking to further model railroading. They began in 1986 in Ed's Hobby Shop in downtown Myrtle Beach with 6 members. So they've been around quite a while. As you can see, they've built a beautiful layout down there. I can imagine they draw a lot of traffic into that mall, and the retailers probably really appreciate that. You're welcome, Dale. So yeah, you can see that power plant is just spectacular. And then they've got a lot of buildings, of course, switches and sidings. It's just really terrific. They do also, they had their 300,000th visitor in 2021. That's pretty impressive. They also run on 5 layouts. They have G, HO, N, Z, believe it or not, and O scale. So if you're interested and you're down in that area, take a look at them at the Myrtle Beach Mall down there in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So hope you enjoyed that. I just think that's a great layout. I'm not sure how big it is. I didn't find that information, but they are right next to Bass Pro Shops. Smart to put it right next to Bass Pro Shops, if you know what I mean, because a lot of us are outdoor and camper people as well as train people. Hello, Misha. From Germany. Wow, thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. Is that your owl? That's a beautiful owl. So let me go back here. See if I can get back my screen. Okay, there we go. So last week, we started, I tried to cut down on all of my information this week so we could get back to our building. Do a little housekeeping. Okay. So we started working on the DPM models building, and I've gone ahead and painted the trim on the 3 pieces that I had finished, and then I wanted to give you some tips and tricks on weathering. So this is a paint color that I pretty much put together myself because I was looking for this rather mottled brick look. I wanted to make it look aged. And oh, don't mind my door, I'm going to repaint that. So this is how the kit started out, in this plain beige plastic. And then what I do is I take the color And this is called dry brushing, as many of you know. I'm sure a lot of you have done buildings. Me too, Misha. I'd love to have one. He's talking about owls in case none of you can see that. So as you do this, I like to hold it up and you go towards your outside so that your brush strokes are going off the end when you have windows like this. And then at the edge, you're going to want to go off towards the edge. And you can put this on as heavy or as thin as you like. And then for your windows, come back in. And again, you're trying not to get that paint color on your trim. So that's just a little tip for doing your dry brushing. And then at your trim, you just take your brush. Sorry, can you see that? And this is pretty risky to do this live. And you can see there that I'm getting different colors. Can you see the different colors that are coming up? And I actually, on the paint, I left it a little marbly. If you can see that, I didn't mix it thoroughly. And I wanted to do that on purpose to get a little bit more interest. Oh, hello. So Mr. Muffin is helping me over here. Try to get it a little better. So again, you're just going to try to take your brush away from anything that you're going to paint another color. So I'm going to bring it in towards my window and just go off that edge, and then I'm going to go away towards the outer edge. And this is called dry brushing. Now, if you think it's on a little too thick, you can just take, can you hand me a paper towel? Mm-hmm. That's a glove. Sorry, they're in the kitchen. I wasn't prepared. Having my wonderful assistant help me here. And then when you get to your trim, just want to take a light hand and outline your trim. So again, if you think that that's a little bit thick, all you have to do is take a paper towel and wipe a little bit of that off. And see how that modeling really comes through? See how mottled that looks? And then when you finish it off, it just looks already, aged as if you would see it as you go through an old town. 100, 200-year-old buildings, because they've been through a lot like the rest of us. And it shows. So they're kind of advertising their history as we go along. So that's the dry brushing. I'm not going to bore you with doing the rest of this, but the big tip is just brush towards the edges so that you don't inadvertently catch your paint on something that you don't want to paint. Okay? So hopefully that's of interest to you. And then I thought what I would do is show you, we're going to eventually put the roof on this. We talked last week about doing the roof. We took it from, in case you were here last week, we have the original styrene that comes plain white. And then what we do, got a little red paint on that, sorry, no big deal, is we want to give it a little bit of roofing texture. So I painted that. You can use spray paint or just regular paint. You can sprinkle a little bit of sand into it. You can use flocking. You can use, for a larger one, you can use a little bit of ballast. And then you want to paint over that when it dries, and then you get that terrific texture in there. So hopefully you can see that. So it really looks like an industrial roof. And then you're going to cut this piece out to fit your building. So what I like to do, because they give you these tiny little pieces to support your rooftop, and you're going to cut them a piece for each end and then the two long strips for the middle. And what I like to do to make sure that I get my roof on straight is take a little bit of a straight edge and just go across the whole thing wherever you think you're going to want to place your roof. So I have a Sharpie marker here, just a plain Sharpie. And I'm just going to draw a line. And line it up on the other one because I didn't have a long enough piece of paper. Shame on me. And what we're going to do is, again, using our ever so fabulous trimmers that, again, we showed you a little bit last week about taking sprues off. So these are pieces that come as they take them off of the injection molding. So I'm just going to show you, again, these wonderful little trimmers, how you just snap that off. And it might go flying. Oh, that one didn't. That's great. And then I have a little bit of another one over here. So I'm just going to trim that off. I did paint the top of this already, so I will touch it up. And then to smooth it out a little more, you just want to use a plain nail file. And you get rid of that rough edge. It doesn't take a lot, but you want to get rid of the evidence, if you will, that it was there. So before we do anything else there, we will measure our pieces and cut, again, using your little plastic cutter. Just cut a piece off for the front and the back. Whoop, that one went flying. That's what happens. Oops. So I'll catch that up later. And use just a little bit. Oh, thank you. Am I not in camera?
No.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So we're just going to use a little touch. I'll get better. Here, I'll just put it over here. This is Zap-A-Gap. Wonderful glue if you don't use it. This is the medium. It doesn't take a lot. As you can see, I just put a little dab on there. And I like to use tweezers to put it down with because you can just get it lined up better. So as you can see, I'm going to my line, trying to line it up there. So I've got it where I want it. And once I have it where I want it, well, on all of them actually, so I'll put another dab here. I have to track down the one that went flying. Be careful, that does happen all the time. So I'll put another one down. And these don't have to go edge to edge. They don't actually give you enough of this material to go edge to edge. So set that in place. I'll do one more. Do the big one. Again, using tweezers to set it down with. This also helps you not get Zap-A-Gap all over your fingers. It's kind of like super glue, but really good for modeling. So as you can see, I'm not doing very well getting that on my line. And the tweezers really help. So there we go. We've got it level. And then, to speed up your process when you're modeling, this is Zip Kicker. If you haven't used Zip Kicker with your adhesives, you really need to get some. This stuff is a miracle. So right now, that glue is really wet, and that piece of plastic is going to slide everywhere. Right now, it's sliding everywhere. So I'll put it back in place, right where I want it. See, it's level. And then I'm going to hit it with Zip Kicker. Just a quick spritz. And 2 or 3 seconds. That is not going anywhere. I cannot budge that. Can you pry it off if you need to? Yes. Not highly recommended. You'll have to clean it off. So a little spritz of Zip Kicker on the other pieces. So again, Zap-A-Gap is your adhesive, and Zip Kicker is your best friend. Now, some people will put Zip Kicker on one side and the glue on the other. I don't like that because you can't maneuver it. I like to put the adhesive down, place my part, and then Zip Kick it. So that's pretty cool. So that appears to be all the time that we have left this week. Sorry. So if it's okay with you, we'll call it a night, and I'll finish this building next week. We'll take a look at how you put it together, put the roof on, and create just a terrific little model for your HO layout. Thank you, Misha. Appreciate it. Steve's Train Run, hello there. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, if you need anything for your HO layout, come to us at 4hotrains.com. Mr. Muffin's Trains in Atlanta, Indiana, the absolute, hotbed of train activity in the country. So I appreciate all of you watching, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye now.
To the right.
Here we go. Finish.